Hello and welcome back to MindSpanse. My name is Craig, and I want to thank you for taking some time with me. Today, I want to talk about inspiration. We've all had inspirational moments, been inspired to do something, and often we don't do anything about it. It's just the way it is. Because you get this incredible idea, and it's usually like random or in the middle of the night or whatever. Just someone says something, and you're like, oh, I want to do that. I'm like really excited, and then you forget, and it's like a dream. Actually, it's like it comes from this place so deep within you, I guess, or maybe it's external, possibly. And so the more you try to remember or reach for it, the faster it recedes. Sort of like when you're trying to remember a dream. Like, and every time I get a little closer, it goes farther and farther away. So what I want to talk to you today about is how you can train yourself to both recognize inspiration and to effectuate change through inspiration, not just with yourself, but with your teams at work. So let us take a very big stretch. My last video, I forgot to do my stretch till the end, so let's do it now. Take a deep breath in to your nose. Hold it for a second. Allow a smile to wash across your face. And then release. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. All right, so we're good to go. So, inspiration. I started writing about this. It was a work thing. So someone said, I had this incredible idea, and they came and started trying to explain the idea, and they were couldn't remember exactly. It was like pieces. It wasn't clear and couldn't remember it. And it reminded me of dreams because I do a lot of dream work. And it reminded me, it was just this moment, it was an inspirational moment for me. That inspiration has a lot of constructs that are very similar to dreams and trying to remember your dreams. And with dreams, we do dream journals and we practice memory of our dreams and how to piece them together based on symbols and all sorts of certain emotional triggers that help us to remember those dreams. And obviously, if you write them down right away, it certainly helps a great deal. And you don't have to write the whole thing down. You just write sort of the emotional feeling and maybe a couple of, key visuals and maybe a very brief outline. And with that, you can pretty much remember, and it sort of moves into your normal memory storage in your brain. And the same with inspiration. So inspiration is like usually happens at weird moments. It could happen, while you're lying down in bed, in the middle of the night, or in the morning, or usually you're exercising, or you're going for a long run and you get into that deep state. If you've ever done any distance stuff and drugs are pumping through your body and you're like running, run, like Forrest Gump, or swimming. For me, I love swimming now. My knees are shot from running too much, so now I'm swimming. And you get to this state, and stuff comes up. Particularly if I'll often meditate or begin a meditation in that state while I'm running or swimming or whatever. And so, and for the specific purpose of creating an openness for ideas, right? So what I want to talk to you today about is how to do that. And there's some really easy stuff, and there's stuff that requires some more practice. So the easy stuff is when you have a moment of inspiration, like a great idea for a new business, or something that you just, oh my God, I really want to build this thing, or I want to do this, or whatever it is you're inspired to, or you want to write, you feel like, oh my God, I just have this great idea for a song or a book or a piece of art or whatever it is, that you're inspired to do something or to have a conversation with someone. Firstly, just write it down. Because if you don't write it down, it's going to go away like a dream. So you should have an inspirational journal. I don't want you to have like a million journals, but like you should have a dream journal. It's really good to have. Plus, it's really fun stuff in there over time. When you get older, you can go back and look. I have years of dream journals. They're fun, and they're great things to creative ideas about things and inspirations. And then an inspiration journal, which is basically every time you have one of these thoughts, just write it down somewhere or record it on your phone, or send yourself a text or do something. Because if you don't, I promise you, 99% is going to go away and you won't remember it. And if you try to remember it, you're like, oh, I had this great idea. And you're like, oh, the dream, catch the dream. So the easy thing is just to write it down or text yourself or do a voice thing, anything to capture that moment. And what's really interesting is the more you do that, like everything else that we talk about here, if you tell your brain you care about this stuff, your brain's going to start optimizing for it. That's what it does. So if you start acting in a way and doing things that say, these things I really am interested in, and I would very much like you, brain, to, do a better job at this. And what'll happen is you'll have more inspirational moments, because they're all around you all the time. It's just that you're not open to them often. Seems like synchronicity, other kinds of things. All these sort of strange little universal weird things. If you're open to them and you focus on them, your brain's going to be open to them and be more aware and say, bring it to your consciousness, like, hey, this is a really cool moment. You should write it down. And the more you write it down and the more you encourage yourself in this way, the more you're going to have inspirational moments. And this is really great with work teams, is to talk to the teams about this and sort of keep an inspirational journal. It could be corporate structure. People always have, oh man, we should really be structured this way, or we should really do this, or we should go after this market or whatever. And a lot of that stuff just gets lost. It was a great meeting, but no one took notes. And so make sure when you have these meetings that you sort of try to elevate inspirational moments and have someone taking notes or recording, so that you can then transcribe your corporate inspirational, sort of 10 commandments or journal or whatnot. So you sort of that when you go into your planning process, these are the 20 or 30 or 40 things that have really bubbled up to something like really cool that we could do to either better the organization or the culture, or do a better job with our customers or the products or whatever. So that's really, really, really a great exercise to bring into your work, and also personally, of course, with everything that you do. Now, so that's relatively easy. It's hard because it's just like, oh, I don't have time or this or that, but it's actually really easy to do it. You just have this journal and you do it on your phone, or you keep it in notes or whatever. So that's not that difficult. And it really does help. And it's like, again, it just elevates your existence. It's because there are all these cool things, and you have a reservoir of cool things to do, right? Could be a trip you want to take, or it could be whatever. So now, a little more difficult practice is if you have a meditation practice or don't have a meditation practice. Obviously, if you do meditate, that's great, and you can use, and this will be relatively straightforward. If you don't, watch videos and whatever. It's not that complicated to, learn how to bring yourself down and to breathe and open yourself up. And what you're trying to accomplish is just to really open yourself up to this universal energy with the intention. Again, this is all about intention, like creating intention. It's like if you ever train with a trainer, if you're doing sit-ups or push-ups or lifting weights or whatever you're doing, you know, when you're very focused, your energy on the muscle that you're working, as opposed to thinking about dinner, drinks, and coffee, you're going to get much, much better results in your workouts. And the same with any of this stuff, you know. So if you focus all your intention, your energy on the fact that I want to be open to interesting, cool ideas, and I'm allowing my mind to be completely clear and open to anything that pops in from the universe, and I'm encouraging the universe to fill me with all these cool ideas. And as you go through that process in this meditative state, initially your mind will get dragged this way and that way, and you'll think about something, and then it'll remind you of your, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend or thing with a boss or whatever, right? But over time, you learn to calm your mind, and that noise will dissipate on its own. And you continue to refocus on your breath and the intention of receiving this inspiration from the universe. And looking in the back of from behind your eyelids at what comes. And you'll be surprised. I won't ruin the surprise, but stuff happens. I mean, things start to flow. Information starts to flow. You get answers to questions. You get new ideas. So you create that state of flow for ideas. Just like athletes have states of flow when they're playing their sport, which is this sort of complete presence, and where it's like almost like everyone else is standing still and you're moving at the speed of light, and you're just like watching Michael Jordan play basketball. So that's what you can do through this meditative process, is to create an environment where inspiration flows, ideas flow through you, and then you learn to capture them. So you still have to write them down, because they're just going to flow right through you, and you'll get another one. But use this as an opportunity. So this is not like going into a deep meditation and blah, blah, blah. This is about creating an environment in your mind and your body that's relaxed and calm and expansive, where ideas can flow. And again, it reinforces to your brain, all your brain parts, that says, hey, Craig is really interested in this inspirational stuff. Maybe we should give him more of it. Let's reorganize our neural connections so he can have more inspiration, because that seems to be something that he's really into, and it makes him happy, and you know, he's doing really cool stuff, and so let's like help him out. And that's what your brain does. And so you have to encourage your brain to sort of like working, you know, if you rock climb, it was really interesting. When I was younger, I used to climb rocks, and which I was totally deathly afraid to do. My brother dragged me in to do this, but eventually I really got into it, and it's very safe. And I'm not, great work with teams and ropes and perfect gear and everything, so very safe. And after a while, your body changes. Like your back gets real, not just because you're exercising those muscles, but I think it's also just because I've worked out a lot and never got my back that big, and my lower body was getting leaner. So it was like, because that's what you need. You need this very strong upper body and sort of a lean and very flexible sort of lower body to move around the rock. I mean, you do use your legs a ton, but when you need your arms, you know. And so my body was noticeably changed in terms of its structure. And because my brain obviously was like, well, we should help this guy so he doesn't fall off and kill himself. So that's what I think. And I'm sure that it's probably true. So in any event, I'm going to leave you with that. So write this stuff down, work with your teams at the office, and create this reservoir. Focus your intention on the desire to have more of these moments, and then use these meditative practices to open yourself up to receive more. And it all is a positive cycle. So it goes up, 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 and you get more and more and better. And again, it's just elevating your existence, elevating each moment, each day, your interactions. And so I think you'll enjoy it, and it's more fun. So I wish you all a phenomenal day. Please subscribe to the channel. I do these probably about once a week. And some people are trying to convince me to do it like a daily show, and I do actually work also, so it'd be hard, but I may get there at some point. And like the video and share it with your friends, and let me know how it's going. You can always send me a message, or if you have a question, I'm pretty responsive, so happy to answer any questions you have as you go through all these practices. And I wish you just an amazing day filled with inspiration. So thank you very much.